Okay, so I understand that I've been vlogging for the past 2 weeks and haven't mentioned the UK riots one bit. And I understand how that would make me seem a little lowbrow. I must be an opinionated guy, I should have something to say about it. So naturally I've decided I should do a video not on the riots, but on language. That's right, you heard me. We're getting very sophisticated all of a sudden, now we're talking about linguistics. Primarily I've decided to talk about expressions I hate, because that might get me angry, and anger translates well on YouTube. But before I begin, I'd like to list a couple that I do like. You know, to stay positive and all. For lack of a better word. I like this because it kind of acknowledges someone's limited vocabulary and puts things as clearly as possible. It accepts our natural faults and works around them, which is what we should all do. Have your cake and eat it. I don't know, this one's absolutely ridiculous, yet I know exactly what it's trying to say. I mean, why are you implying that cakes have any function besides being eaten? This is mad. Okay, now for a few expressions I don't like. Food for thought. Now I understand what this is trying to say, here's something for you to think about and you should reach an interesting conclusion, but it's just, I don't like the process of eating being used inappropriately, even if it's a metaphor. My mind runs on useful and interesting concepts, not food, ugh. And I just get the image of someone's brain opening up and engulfing a huge sandwich or something, I don't know. Fruit of the womb. Ugh. Just, ugh. This is probably that food thing again. Just don't associate fruit, something that rots particularly quickly, with a womb, something that holds things for long amounts of time, then spits them out. Are you trying to make me sick? I know the process of birth is pretty disgusting as it is, but I still want a baby to come out at the end of it, not a pile of compost. At the end of the day, this is an incredibly overused expression, and it's used to make someone's point seem definitive and end an argument, but really, it does nothing at all. People think it makes them sound like an authority, but really it just makes you sound like you're on Jeremy Kyle. At the end of the day, Jeremy, what the Lord to says don't really matter because I didn't do nothing with Clarissa anyway. And suddenly you don't want to use that expression ever again. Everything happens for a reason. Oh, this is a silly one. Clearly this one is used for people who are upset and trying to convince them that something bad that happened is actually for the good in the long run. You know, creating delusions in the minds of the vulnerable. It's a lovely thing to do. And all I can say to the idea that everything happens for a reason is, no, it doesn't. I dropped my toast face down this morning and poked myself in the eye with my toothbrush, so when am I going to reap the benefits of that? Everything happens as a result, it's plain logic. Now I don't for 1 second believe that this view is inherent to being an atheist, just someone who abides by common sense. And one of the worst offenders of all, I could care less. Now this only really appears in America, but I have to mention it because it just makes no sense at all. So let's analyse its traditional form, I couldn't care less. Say this is how much I care. Now I couldn't really care any less than that, showing that I don't care much at all. It's airtight, it works perfectly. But with I could care less, I could care this much, which means I could care a little bit less, or this much, which could mean I care a lot less. I know this is very unprofessional making graphs with my hands, but please stick with me. So overall, the amount you actually care isn't shown at all. It takes an expression that works absolutely fine and going completely wacko opposite day with it. So, those are the expressions that really grind my gears. That's a pretty bad expression in itself. So what are the ones that really irritate you? They could be grammatical errors, things that don't make sense, or just things that really irritate and annoy you. Leave your answers in the comment section. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.